Hi guys, Seawolf here. Just wanted to create a short video to show off some of the work I've been doing. I've been working on adding full vanilla support for the conditionals, for trigger conditionals. And there was been a problem that's been bugging me for a while. So I'll explain what that was, and I fixed it, and what it looks like now. So in the game there's triggers. Those allow you to push logic forward based off something happening. So if on this just like reset trigger, they can activate based off messages that the game broadcasts. So for instance, like a on attack sequence impact, an aura added, loads of these ones here. And when one of those gets triggered, it will run some conditionals. And if those conditions are successful, then some actions are run, and that could be trigger some dialogue, set a status of something, set the team behavior, or anything like that really. And there's lots of custom things I'm adding in mission control for that. So there was a problem, and the problem was that some of these conditions or conditionals are general use, and some of them are very specifically tied to certain messages that get broadcast. So there was going to be a problem for myself and anyone using this, that as these conditions grow, it's going to be very confusing and actually just not obvious at all on which of these conditions are general use and which of them are very limited to the specific trigger message that gets sent. And it would cause like a load of problems. It would just make people think that things are broken completely. So I finally went back to revisit this because it's been on my mind for a long time, and I've added a kind of fixes for it and feature for it. So what is this? So right now, if you're on like nothing on a new trigger, you'll be able to see the full list of conditionals that can be used. If you select a specific trigger, say on dialogue completed, then only the ones that are generically used and the ones that will only work for that trigger will show up in this conditionals list. So I've only got one of these kind of limited at the moment, and it says dialogue matches conditional. So you can see here I can add that and it's all good. But if I try to change it to say on actor or actor clicked message trigger, so the dialogue conditional will only work for two messages. It's on dialogue completed and on dialogue continue. So this trigger message is not valid for this conditional. So if I select it now, before what would happen is you'd be able to select it, you'd be able to save the game, your custom contract type, and just continue. But that would actually be an invalid broken state. So you'd maybe get a kind of a null pointer, like an error in the game code when that logic executed. It might even break your contract type. So I was desperately wanting to avoid that situation. So now you get warned about this. You get given two actions. It will tell you what's wrong, and it will say, exactly what I've just described. This dialogue matches condition is not valid for the trigger on, basically. So you've got two options. You can cancel it, and if you cancel it, this trigger on will revert back to the last valid one, or you can delete the invalid conditionals. So if I cancel this, you can see the on dialogue completed is kind of back again. On dialogue continue is also valid, like I mentioned. So if I had a few of these in here and then swap to an invalid one, you can see it says there's 3 of these dialogue matches that don't work. There's a little button up here on the top right that if you've selected something else and you've lost your point of where this is being discussed, you can select this arrow and it will take you back to the important trigger. And if you delete the conditionals, it will set the state as how it should be then. So we actor clicked message, and it's got rid of the dirty conditionals. So yeah, that's about it. So this ensures that there's no dirty logic being stored, nothing that can break the game, at least from this area anyway. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, guys. That's all I wanted to show.